I'm continuing on the import statement. So you can see some standard import statements that you can use within machine learning, but you may see another variation. So you saw this variation as well. You can use it like this and so on. So there are different ways of importing in modules. But one other final one that you may see, I wanted to talk about was this one where you specify the module name as a variable, and then using underscore function import, you use the variable name over here. So you want the math module. So this is similar to that syntax over here. And what you're trying to do is use this variable over here. This has the word math and it will import the math variable and it will store it over here in this variable. So this is just a variable that we have created called math. You can call it whatever you want. You can call it math2, math3, or whatever. That is no problem. And then you can use this square root function. So this is similar to statements like this over here or like this. But the only difference is just storing that import statement like an alias. Think of it like an alias. So this is a bit like this. So you can alias that as empty. This is the same concept. And when you do that, you can then refer to it and use it like this. So another way it is possible is using the import lib. So here using the import lib, what you can do is you can use the import module function and give it the name of the module that you want. So in this case, math, and then you can access that over here. So for example, here you call it math. And again, this is just the alias or variable name. And you can then use the factorial function, for example. And then you can see if you were to run this, that's success, and we get the output. So by using these methods over here, what that allows you to do is build some dynamic code that lets the user or some other logic, if conditions and so on, control what value this should have. For example, if the user says, I want to access from the math class, you can actually make it dynamically access the math module and so on. So this is all to just make your code dynamic. The standard way is, of course, and the most preferred way is this one. I just wanted to touch on these methods because these do exist and you may see them, but I don't want you to be getting confused about them. But always try and stick to some standard method unless you're trying to do something very complex that requires this sort of statements. But as you can see, standards are just import like this, or you can use this flavor, which is you use the module name and import a particular section. So in this case, we're importing a class, but you can also import individual functions and so on. You can also import in variables that are declared within a module. So here, for example, this is a constant that we're accessing, like that's a variable in this math class, and you can also import just that one in. And of course, one other one that you see is like this one. You import it in with the alias, and then you can access, for example, so you can access it like this, mat.py, mt.py, and that comes through like this as well. So that's it. Catch you next time when I explain some more concepts on machine learning. But I just wanted you to be very familiar with the import statements and the different styles available.